AJ.
A-Twist. It's Rap Attack.
Yes, sir. You know what it is, man. It's Rap Attack on B-Mo's 92Q, home of that Quicksilver Morning Show. Your boy AJ Showtime.
Yes, sir. DJ Twisted. We got Uptown in the building.
You know what I'm saying?
Ferg, yo, welcome to Baltimore,
What's
baby.
poppin', y'all? You already know. You know, I just shot a video out here.
Oh, word?
In Baltimore, yeah. I had like 300 bikes out. The Thought I Was Dead video.
You shot that down here?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
We can't ride bikes in New York.
Word?
So, yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so my boy Shay, my family, we linked up with Wayne and we got all of the bikes out.
Nice.
Yeah.
Man, that's probably one of my favorite songs out the joint, too.
You know what I'm saying?
Thanks.
Straight
Yeah,
to
I gotta
the
look at the
point.
video, yeah.
That's
I'm
crazy.
in Baltimore. You
I
can
wish-
see the houses.
Wish I would have known.
You know
I
what
would
I'm
have been
saying?
there.
Came through
That's
for real.
crazy.
No doubt.
All right, so let's get into it, man. You got this project coming out, man, that's out. That's a beautiful piece of work. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about it.
Thank
Daryl, let's
you.
talk about it.
Yeah, let's do it. Well, Darold is basically the man behind the man that I never got a chance to really introduce. So I got to the point where it's like, you know, us as artists, I feel like we all get to that point, or if we're blessed to get to that point, we make the government name album title. You know, like Young Thug did a Jeffrey. You know, we reached that. I think did Wayne do that? He did. Mr. Carter was a song.
Yeah.
But like we all grow up. We get to that point where we want to show people who we really are and who we made of and what's in our DNA. And that's what I really wanted to give people, was the man behind the man that you know for all of the hits and
Right.
all of these things. Yep.
So when was that moment when you had to step away after Trap God that you realized you had
Trap
to...
Lord.
Trap Lord, my
Gucci
bad.
Man, the Trap
my bad.
God.
Yeah, you're right.
Shout out to Gucci.
Trap Lord, my bad.
Gucci came at me too for having Trap Lord as a name.
For real word?
Yeah, hell
What was that
yeah.
conversation?
Twitter, he was like, he had some words, he had some bad words, but we good now.
No doubt, that's
Yeah.
good. So when was that moment you realized after that album that you had to step away and really find yourself? What made you realize that? What was that moment?
I wasn't attracting what I wasn't attracting what I wanted in life. I believe like whatever we put out, whether it's our videos, whether it's our music, you know, I was literally like, wow, like people think I'm only this. But I was growing. So I was just like, I had to add more elements to my lifestyle and show people like, yeah, I do listen to Anita Baker, and I do watch Quincy Jones documentaries, and I do like going to art shows, and I do paint, and I do like these different things. So where I had to take the time was to learn how to articulate it, because it's one thing to really do it. Like I know a lot of people, like I like using this analogy. It's like if you're a rapper, or say even a stripper, if you're a stripper, we're dual people. None of us is just like one way. So she goes strip and she's listening to like a bunch of trap music, but when she's going home and she's calming down and she wants to chill, or if she's watching her kid, or if she's washing clothes, she's listening to like Sade or something like that.
Yeah.
There's
You know
definitely
what I'm
more
saying?
layers to
Yeah.
it.
So I wanted to show that side. I was only showing the turned up side.
Oh, no.
Well, I wasn't only showing the turned up side. I'm sorry. Like all of my albums have dualities to them. Darold, you know, Always Strive and Prosper, Trap Lord, it's all duels. But I think that I emphasize more on the hit records because that's what was driving everything. Now I'm in a place where I want to put light on the B-side records and things that mean stuff to me and really flesh out the art, because I feel like now with streaming, you know, anything could be a hit. Any like it could be a slow song, it could be a song with no hook. It can, you know, it could blow up on TikTok from a snippet. It can and even if it don't blow up, I'm doing it because I like it and I'm feeling it. And also I can afford to do it now. Before I couldn't afford to shoot videos for all my songs. I could literally do that now.
Okay.
Oh.
One thing with the state of hip-hop, where a lot of people complaining that hip-hop has no substance. You know what I'm saying? Except for the few artists, your Coles, your Kendricks, and your Drakes or whatever. But now, you was talking about putting medicine in the song, especially when it came to Pool.
Yeah.
What made you want to talk about that particular situation about being molested, and also, like, why now? And you know what I'm saying? Like, how would it make you want to come out and express that in your music?
Because nobody's talking about it, and everybody's talking about demons, and you know, I'm a demon and I'm on demon time and all of that stuff. But what's actually making you like this? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's making you so angry? Like, life is good. Like, even when it's bad, it still could be like, you can make it good. So, you know, I want to shed light on topics, and I believe the world could be a better place if we all sit at a round table and just have a conversation. So I wanted this album to be conversational. Like, yeah, like, I'm not saying I'm right about everything. Like, maybe it's not smart for me to share certain things or whatever the case may be, but I feel like for me, I wanted to have this conversation, and particularly because black men in the urban communities don't talk about this type of stuff and don't go to therapy, and that is killing us. It's killing us. It's taking us to jail. It's mental health, mental wellness is declining. It's breaking up homes. It's just not healthy. So I wanted to have like a grown, healthy conversation about things like this. And also, when my kids found my music, I kept thinking, like, what do I want my kids to get out of my music? What is the purpose? And maybe this is something that can help a kid. Maybe this is something that can make somebody step off of a ledge, you know, to let them know, like, oh, damn, like, Ferg is my favorite artist. Like, he been through something, like, shit. Like, if he could do it, because that's what Biggie did for me. Like, you know, when he did suicidal thoughts on Ready to Die, I was like, wow, like, I'm not the only one. Or like, who else? Like, yeah, that's what Biggie did for me. So, yeah, I just want to be that person for others as well.
Right. Since you dropped it, you dropped Pool, was any fans reach out to you that say, like, you helped me through this situation, now I got a voice, I can speak out now?
I think it's too early.
Okay.
Like, I got a lot of, because maybe, like, this song is so deep that it forces you to go back in self and really deal with things. This is shit that, you know, I took 8 years to write this song. It was like
and I know
3
it was
different
hard,
versions.
It probably was hard, right?
It was hard to write the song because I didn't know how to articulate it.
Okay.
And then I had to go through barriers, like, what do I want to share?
Yeah.
It's like, this is uncharted territory. Like, we never had a rapper, like, be the face of this discussion.
Right.
Like, this is a new thing to hip hop. Like, this is gonna start a ripple effect. Like, we seen Kendrick, he touched on it, with his mom being molested and his mom asking him if he's ever been molested or whatever the case may be, on Mr. Morale.
Or the Big Steppers. Yeah.
Yeah, the Big Steppers. So it's just like, but he didn't go through it. I'm saying I went through it.
Right. Especially you being the artist that you are already established. And now
exactly.
you know what I mean, later you come out, and I think that's brave of you to even do that. You feel me?
Yeah, and I think people, like, you know, I watched a documentary with Bobby Brown, and he came out and said he's been molested by a cop that, like, had arrested him when he was a kid. It was a documentary. And now that explains, like, the drug abuse and, like, why he was going, like why he was turning up being like this bad dude. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of times hurt people, and you gotta break you gotta break it up. You gotta break that conditioning, because then the cycle will just continue. Like, so me, I'm like, I'm the perfect vessel for this, because I'm jiggy, I'm handsome, like, I'm from Harlem. Like, we ain't never really have nobody from Harlem talk like this.
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying?
So the one thing that's beautiful about your situation is your relationship with different artists. Now, it's well known that you got a beautiful relationship with Young Thug. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about, and now Dirk is going through the same situation that Thug is getting out of.
Yes. Damn. Damn near like days apart.
Right.
Yeah. Like, soon as Thug came home, Dirk went in.
So how do you feel about, as far as with lyrics and what you can and what you can't say, especially being vulnerable? Like, we're talking about Darold, and also kind of similar to Casting Spells with Mary J. Blige.
Yeah, casting spells. I think that casting spells is a real thing. Like, the moment you write it down, the moment you think about it, it already started manifesting. It's like the moment you throw the rock in the water and that ripple effect starts. Like, the moment you think of that negative thought whether it's a negative name, negative condensation, whatever it is, that is starting the ripple effect of what's to come later. So we got to really be careful on spelling, because you're casting spells on yourself, whether it's good or bad. And I think that, yes, it's unfortunate and it's sad, and gangster rap is over. It's done.
And that's what I want to ask you. Do you feel like, especially with the justice system and how they're holding these lyrics accountable, do you feel that that's fair?
It's their system. It's their game. If they could do whatever they want to do, we could make our own system and play by our own rules. But who's doing that? So if you want to be in music and you want to be in the industry that we don't own, then it's rules to obey.
Yeah, and I think that's sad, because I don't think if hip-hop wasn't a multi-million-dollar business, that wouldn't exist. You know what I'm saying? You still would have freedom of speech when you write.
But the fact that you said gangster rap is officially dead.
Yeah,
Gangsta
that's
rap is
crazy.
finished. That's
That's
done.
crazy. Now, you came out with like the Kendricks, the Coles, the Wiz, you know, the Mob was in the building when everybody came out. What do you think is different from back then to now in the rap game?
Can you reiterate that question real quick?
All right, so when you first came out, you know what I'm saying, when y'all first came on the scene, what do you think what is the difference between now and then?
As far as with the hip hop, with the industry.
Yeah. Is it more easier where you got to watch out more? You got to watch how you move different. You know what I'm saying?
It's more lucrative. You can make a lot of money very fast.
Oh yeah.
There's kids coming in here making way more money than me off rip, like with less ties to like majors, and you could do distribution deals and don't be tied down and off rip get the crazy big check. And I'm so happy. I'm happy that it's that way. We got so many platforms now that we could promote ourselves. Like having an Instagram is like having your own TV channel.
Yeah, real talk.
Like I'm on your Instagram, on your stories, and then I'm watching your stories like I'm watching TV. Like every day. Like we don't even watch TV no more for real.
This
like,
the entertainment.
On Instagram.
Right.
Yeah, like it's like, yo, where's the production crew? Nah, it's just me. Like, I'm just gonna set the phone up here, I'm gonna perform, boom. That shit goes viral, and now you have a kid who went from being in the hood to making millions of dollars and have like artists and athletes come sit in his room, stream like Kai Cenat, and that's a job now.
Yeah.
Real talk.
It's beautiful.
So one thing is beautiful, you tapped into the OG, Dapper Dan.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Especially based off the relationship that you guys had, first and foremost. Talk about that and your experience with fashion then and now, especially with everything that you've touched, from Tiffany's and so on and so forth.
And that Ferg apparel.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we got to get to it.
Ferg apparel on Darold. Yeah, Dapper Dan is the oracle. Dapper Dan was my father's mentor. When my father came down to Harlem from down south, and he was a young artist, and you know, painting T-shirts for Nicky Barnes and all of the big ballers back in the days, the high rollers. He met a cat named Dapper Dan who had a shop, Dapper Dan, where he was doing Mike Tyson stuff. He was doing all of the major guys, LL Cool J rappers, and my father became like his protege, and he was printing T-shirts and stuff like that with Dap, and Dap was just kind of like showing him the ways and the ropes and everything like that. Fast forward, my father passed away, and I went looking for Dap because I never really met him as a teenager or just older. And I found him in a store one day. I was in a car and I seen him coming out of a store, and I hopped out on him, and he was looking like, cause you know he's still like, he got old gangster mentality, so he's still like, yo. And I'm like, nah, I'm Ferg's son. I'm like, I'm Lil D Ferg. He was like, oh man, your father, oh my God, you look just like him. And then we've been close ever since then. And even before like Dap came out to the world, because he was underground for a few years. He was underground for a long time because the feds raided his artillery and took all his books and stuff, because, you know, he was doing like the Fendi, the Gucci and all of that, and he started making more money than the actual houses. So the feds, the brands was like, yo, we can't have that. Like the people actually start coming to them asking them if they had the Dapper Dan bubbles and a bomber jackets, and because they wasn't making that, he was making that stuff. So he was just getting the Gucci prints and the Fendis and all of that and making like better clothes with their prints. So they raided his stuff. So he went underground, moved to Africa for about 4 years, studied out there. A lot of people don't know that was like a part of the Nation of Islam. Like, so he's a deep cat. He has a lot. It's more than just clothes. Like he studies symbolism, like African symbols and things like that. That Louis Vuitton is inspired by. That Picasso was inspired by. So he's deep. So when he came back from Africa, where he was like writing for a newspaper, 40 Acres and a Mule and all of that stuff, he came back and he was just underground for a minute, had to re-establish himself, build his business again, set up tables on 2/5. He didn't have his store anymore. He literally had to start from scratch. And then one day, Louis Vuitton had jacked a jacket look and a silhouette that he designed, and Twitter went crazy, like to the point where it went viral. Like, yo, nah, y'all gotta give this man his flowers. How y'all gonna jack the man's stuff? This appropriation and all of that. They was forced to talk, so they had the Gucci staff and house meet Dap in Harlem at his brownstone, and they gave him a Gucci deal. And I remember Dap was texting me, yo, nephew, you think I should do this? I'm like, yeah, because you can always build your brand through this opportunity and then branch off and do your own thing. So
no doubt.
Yeah.
So
that's my relationship with Dap.
So with fashion, especially with Tiffany's and all your other ventures, how do you feel that they treat minorities in fashion now? Is it equal, or do you still have to put up the fight that Dapper Dan did?
I don't think that. See, Dap was in the wrong off rip because he took their prints and used them.
True.
Yeah. Just to be clear, like, so he was getting away with murder, and they just came down on him. Like, he was hustling, but it really turned into like something good because it came back to bite them in the ass when they try to appropriate him.
Right.
So, like, it all worked, like, in a grand scheme of things. But yeah, like, as far as how anybody treat anybody is how you allow them to treat you. So, you know, they're going to treat you good until they don't treat you good, and it's on you whether you want to stay there and put up with the treatment.
All right, as far as like Ferg apparel, right? So I'm not really a fashion guy, you know what I'm saying, because it switch up so much, right? So it's like first we wore baggy jeans in the 90s, then it went to like you just wear the fit, and then now it's back to being oversized again. So I'll be like, I'm gonna just stay in my old lane. So how do you?
What's your lane? What you
like,
baggy? What you?
Yeah, just like regular like this. It don't gotta be too baggy. You know what I'm saying?
You got some slim jeans.
You know what I'm saying? It ain't too baggy, but you know what I'm saying?
It's comfortable, yeah.
But how do you determine what Ferg apparel going to put out? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because that jacket real tough, by the way.
Thank you. I appreciate
you know what I'm saying? But how do you determine what you going to put out for the people to you know that who you sell to?
So what I've had to do for the brand and what every brand does, you create like basically like a Bible, and with that Bible is like the DNA of the brand, like mission statements, what do we believe in, a belief system, lifestyle, what type of person is a Ferg apparel man or woman, where does that woman or man eat, like what does the kids wear, how do their hair look, what era are they from? Do they have parents? Blah, 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 blah. So that's what I study. I look at a lot of my father's archival stuff, like his archival clothes. I study the clothes. I go back, study his pictures, what they was wearing back in that time, because history repeats itself. Ain't nothing new under the sun.
Definitely.
It's just how you curate it. So, like, it's a new day, but it's like, you know, we all inspire from what we seen before. So we digged in our parents' closets. We wore the blazers and the coats and the jackets. Tried their cologne. So we in a new day is like a lot of that stuff don't exist.
Right.
So it's really about like, you know, new experiences and then some of those classic experiences that you've experienced and meshing those together and curating it in your own way. And that is what Ferg Apparel is.
No doubt.
So let's talk about the song Messy. You know what I'm saying? You talk about drinking Ace with Jay.
Yeah.
Tell us about that experience.
I love that you caught that line because
Yeah.
I be thinking that like, damn, maybe I should have just turned that up a little bit more. Like, turned them 2 bars up just a little bit more than the rest of the bars. Just because, like, man, yeah, like, so for this whole process with this album, I read a book called The Artist's Way, where, you know, it's a spiritual guide for artists. It helps you get out of your rut and like it helps you get out of your writer's block. So what I had to do was I had to get up and I had to free write for 3 pages every day, and I had to take myself on play dates. Like, you know, us as adults, we don't really play no more. Like we go to dinner and we think that's like a fun night out. That's not fun. Like Great Adventures, getting on a roller coaster is fun. Like going to Disney World, seeing colors, like that's play. Painting, like flipping, like that type of stuff. We lose that as adults. So it says take yourself on play dates. I think this stuff is designed to get you in your flow. So I did that as a exercise, and I also had 4 people I wanted to see, which was Jay-Z, Kanye, Bugs, who's a producer, and Sycamore. Also my boy Kirby. Kirby was very instrumental in this project, and my boy A-Side. Kirby helped me with like clarity, like, you know, getting all of the fluff out the way, and A-Side helped me sequence things and conceptualize my idea. Jay-Z helped me figure out where I was stuck at. Jay-Z told me that so when we was drinking Ace, we was at the office and he was like, we played all of the music. He brought 2 bottles of Space in, and we listened to all the music that I had on my hard drive. I'm talking about for an hour and a half. Like, and then we got to like a little bit more than the middle of the music, and he was like, I know where you're at. And he said, you're exactly where I was at when I created Beach Chair, where I'm trying to please the people, but at the same time, I'm trying to get my shit off. And I resonated with that because it's like I was coming from a place where they know me as the anthem man, and like I got them hooks, but I got something on me that I wanted to say. And he was like, yo, my advice to you is, you know, create your anthems, but at the same time, get your shit off. Bugs told me, you ain't got nothing to prove. You been killing shit. If I was you, you have a baritone voice like Biggie, rap on lo-fi beats, no hi-hats, and keep making people move. Kanye said, everything sounds amazing. We wound up working on Donda. Sycamore, I played him 2 songs, which started the album. The name of the album originally was going to be Silence, so you could hear God talk to you. And another song was called We Don't Judge, or Alive. No, it was Alive and Silence. So he said, this sounds spiritual and tribal, and you should listen to Air by Soul. So he gave me homework to listen to Air, which is like a group full of like a bunch of known artists that's mystery. Like you don't see their names titled and nothing. You hear the voices and you got to know if that's Solange or da-da-da-da. So that was my homework to do with this project, along with meditating, fasting, and then dirtying it up, go party, go to the strip club, go to the yacht, because this whole thing was about balance. I didn't want to have so much light in me to the point where it's like I blind the people.
Yeah.
So it's like putting that sugar in the medicine.
Exactly.
No doubt.
So that's what the Jay-Z story.
Okay.
Let's talk about light work, because I hear a lot of influences in there.
Yeah.
Some people might say Jersey Club, but I'm going to say Baltimore Club.
Yeah, definitely that Baltimore Club in there.
Yeah, I mean, that's Baltimore Club. I hear drill in there, and I hear some Outkast influence in there, right?
It's like so many transitions.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
It's a real dope song.
From the song,
Thank
like
you,
real
appreciate
dope
that.
song.
especially from the production side.
Yeah, I gotta show y'all the video. I ain't even released the video yet.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Crazy.
So
Watch when y'all
let's
see this.
talk the influence that
Yeah.
that made you make that song.
So this is during the time I was fasting, all juicing. I was on a juice detox for 25 days, straight juice, and making fresh juice every day.
One thing
12
I
juices a
cannot
day.
do. I tried.
Yeah, you could do it. You could do it. Just ease your way into it. Salads first, and then go juice.
Okay.
But I had a house in Miami, set up the studio. We would run to the beach every day. That was like the routine in the hot, blazing sun. But you know, when you on juice, like that sun, it like activates like the things in like the enzymes in your body. Like it just be like jumping. Like your energy is like if you drink like a 24-hour or something like that. Like, so my energy, I'm running.
What's up?
I'm feeling godly. I'm feeling like I'm reaching Christ consciousness. And then like the sound of my steps, it was starting to sound like a beat to me going to the beach. And I'm like, rollie, so as I'm running, I'm coming up with the beat, and then I just pull out the phone, just do the voice note, and then I sent it to 3. I stopped and I sent it to 3 producers. I sent it to my engineer that was at the house. I sent it to MC Vert, and I sent it to my boy Good Kid.
Okay.
So I went to the beach. We sat in the water, got charged up, had meetings, and then boom, ran back to the house, showered. The joint was set up already. I told my engineer, yo, do this. Bum, 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 808s. And I'ma just mumble over it. And then we just jammed out, me and my cousin Hunt Dog. And yeah, that's how it started. And then I added words to it, and then I sent it to MC Vert to add more stuff to it. And then I was in London recording this album as well for about 3 weeks with an artist named El Mean. And I forgot that Jazzy B from Solar Soul, who created Solar Soul, the group, he lives out there. Solar Soul is one of my favorite R&B and soul groups.
Absolutely, hands down.
Yeah. He was staying 5 minutes away from my hotel. So I was like, oh shit, I gotta go get like some like rare vocals that he never put out or whatever the case may be. So we digging in the crates on like vocals that he never put out, songs he never put out. So he gave me some stuff
That's dope.
to play with. And then I wound up just thinking like, yo, what if I do the Solar Soul vocals chops with the MC Vert Jersey Club, Baltimore Club vibe with the gospel from Harlem alumni,
Towards the end.
yeah,
Okay.
AKA Boys Choir of Harlem, because that was the old name.
Yeah.
Now it's Harlem alumni. With the drill kid, because the whole thing is like showing dark and light. It's called light work. That's what light work is about. I went to go see a medium, and she said, "You're a light worker." I didn't know what that meant. She said, "You're meant to shed light on the dark." And I was like, damn, that's crazy, because in Harlem, we'd be like, oh, that's light work. Like, that's easy. That's an easy lift. That ain't nothing. 300 pounds, I'm going to lift that. That's easy. Light work. So I had my little cousin do the hook. This is light work. This is light work. And then I had Diddy Osama come in talking about his darkness and dark moments, dealing with his brother's death and seeing his brother die at like the age of 14. It was only kids, seeing his brother get stabbed to death. Talking about that story. And then I had to explain this to the gospel group, because I'm like, look, it's gonna be a little raw, because this is the light that we need to shed through like this type of darkness. They understood the mission, and we got light work.
Yeah,
Nice.
y'all crushed that.
Nice.
Crushed that.
So with
Damn,
this
that's
light
a long
work,
explanation.
No, but
that's
it's cool.
dope.
But
That's
it's
dope.
cool.
Yeah.
But that's what we like. You know what I'm saying? That's
Yeah.
what Rap Attack is about. So with this light work, especially what you're, being forced in hip hop to do now, what you feel like your calling is to do.
Yeah.
With all these rap legends, like you got Young Thug, you had Dirk, we got Puff, and we got all the artists as well. Do you feel like there's a witch hunt in hip hop right now?
it's not a witch hunt. It's just casting spells. It's like literally like it's like what you put out into the universe is gonna come back to you. And you know, I don't know the karma of what's happening spiritually, but something is in motion. And I'm gonna share something with y'all. I told Puff that this may not be happening to you, it's happening for you. You know what I'm saying? Because Puff, my father did the Bad Boy logo.
Right.
I'm cool with his family, him. I don't know all of what's happening in the world. You know what I'm saying? With him. It's only hearsay. What he did with Cassie, dead wrong. Like, we don't beat women, all of that. But at the same time, if he winds up being innocent, we can't shun him. And we can't throw away our people. That's not what hip hop is about. That's not what our culture is about. So all of that cancel culture shit, like, man, it's sick people, and sometimes you do need to get shunned. But if you're innocent, then you're innocent. And you know, media got a way of like really taking people power away, taking away our heroes. Like, you know what I'm saying? They did it with Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, like Huey P. Newton. They did it with all of our black leaders. Like, we can't just allow that, like, just to happen. I don't want to see black leaders just fall. So if he's wrong, then yeah, suffer the consequences, and you know, you do the crime, you gotta do the time. But if he's not, then he's not.
Twist, before we let him go, we gotta ask him about digging in the crates.
All right, so what I want to know from you is, what was that song that inspired you to even start rapping? Like, if you had to go back to a time in an era, what is that song that put you up on game? It was like, listen, I know I can do this. I can rap like that. You know what I'm saying? So what was that song? Because we go back and dig in the crates on every scene of Rap Attack.
I think the Locks did that for me. Like, listen, I used to listen to a lot of the Locks, Rough Riders, Drag On, DMX. Oh, I'm trying to think, like, who was like the person. Like, I'm like Cassidy. Like, the bars was crazy, like Cassidy bars. I'm trying to think, like, who was the person though. Like, I was like,
do you have
man.
that one song?
All right, so my boy Preview, I'm gonna say Preview. Like, Preview, he was a part of my crew growing up. I had a crew called H-Team, which later turned into HMV, Harlem Envy. And Preview and his brother Perion, they was the first out of the crew to get signed as teenagers. They were signed to Sony. They had a deal. So we thought we was the shit. Like we got homies that signed. Like, what? Yeah. We walk around like, but Preview was a menace. This is during the time, like, you know, battling was popular, like Freestyle Fridays, battles on 106 and Park. Like, we heard about the J Mills, the Vados, the Kabooms, Meek Mills. We heard about the Vodkas. We heard about the who else? Reed Dollars. We heard about T-Rex. We heard about Murder Mook. This was super popular back then. Ness.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's that era. So I was mimicking that. Like, not even mimicking it. I was a part of that. I was a part of that culture. I was just a younger generation of that. So that was really my start. I didn't even know how to write a song. I was afraid to, like, write a girl song because I was so used to, I put a cap under your shirt like when it rain and he ain't want his fitted wet. Like, I'm on that time all day. Like, I'm rapping real loud. We being disrespectful. Yeah. We turning our backs on people. We got people outside the windows of their buildings looking down at the, you know, crowds looking at us battle. Everybody putting up bread. We hearing, yo, they got 10,000. Yeah, like, but us as kids, we was just doing it as a sport, and we used to battle each other to stay in the crew. So it's like, yo, if you lost this battle, you can't throw it up. We had a handshake. You can't throw it up with us for a week.
Nice.
You don't even say hi to us.
No doubt.
Before we let you go, one last question, because you did mention this guy coming through Dapper Dan, and we do know this story with Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
So he got a fight coming up with Jake Paul.
Yes.
Who you putting your money on?
Mike. Yeah.
I'm with you.
Iron Mike.
I'm with you.
Gotta be Iron Mike.
I'm with you.
Mike. Yo, Mike got that like old man power, like that shit that don't go away. He got that muscle memory, like
Real talk.
we ain't finna play with that. He done knocked a lot of people down, and I feel like it's so he's so like he's such in a good mental space. I feel like, and such at peace with himself that he mastered himself to the point where he could go back to that space when Cuss had him. You know what I'm saying? Big neck with the the pit bull face, walking through the streets, slacks on, no shirt.
Oh, dog.
Like he could go back to that space,
Right.
like, and I think that's what he
did.
do. Like,
I think he gonna be there.
Absolutely.
Jay Paul never been there before.
Nah.
Right. He don't know what he's dealing
He
with.
can't go back to that place.
Nope.
Mike can.
Oh,
Ferg,
dog.
we appreciate you coming through Rap Attack, bro. Always a
No
pleasure.
doubt,
man.
man.
Yes,
This was
sir.
fun, man. I appreciate y'all.
Yeah.
Doors
Yes, sir.
always
No
open
doubt.
whenever you in town.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
My brother.
Appreciate you, man.